cold press oil, refined oils, olive oil, mustard oil, which oil to choose for cooking and which is good for your health? This is a very common question, and today in this video we are going to discuss in detail what are the several factors that determine a good oil for your health. However, if you need some basic tips and you don't want to get into those details, I'll give you some 5 simple tips by the end of the video on how to choose the right cooking oil for you that is also healthy and at the very same time makes your life much easier and healthier. Let's discuss about oil first. What is oil? Oil is nothing but a composition of unsaturated, saturated, polysaturated, monosaturated fats. So, the basic point of understanding is how much fat you need in your diet. You should know that about 10 to 15% of the total calories that you consume can come from unsaturated, polysaturated and monosaturated fats. Less than 5% of your intake from fat should come from saturated fats. Now, when this is clear, let's get into the details on the several factors that determine the good cooking oil and how you can choose the right oil for cooking. First, and very common factor that we all know and very commonly talked about is smoke point. Smoke point is the burning point of the oil at which the oil starts burning. Higher the amount of free fatty acids in oil, lower is the smoke point, which simply means that smoke points determines at which temperature the oil will start breaking. Now, it's an important consideration for all of us because when we know the smoke point of a particular oil, it helps us enable and make right choices on which kind of oil to use at different heating situations. For example, if you are making food that requires low impact cooking, then you need an oil at a certain smoke point. If you're using it for frying or high or medium heat cooking, then you need a smoke point that is much higher. So in order to determine which oil to choose at different cooking conditions, you need to know the different smoke points of different oils available. Now let's discuss on the values. For low heat cooking, like gentle cooking like simmering, steaming, sauteing or salad dressings, you require smoke point for about 350 to 375 Fahrenheit. Olive oil and butter is a better option because they have a little relative smoke point. Medium heat cooking, for baking, roasting and stir frying your oils, you require smoke point for about 375 to 450 Fahrenheit. And canola oil, coconut oil or grapeseed oil are the recommended oils in this particular cooking condition. Last, high heat cooking. For high heat cooking like frying, grilling, broiling, oils with smoke point 450 and above are ideal. For example, avocado oil, peanut oil or any refined oil. So it's important for us to choose a cooking oil based on the cooking technique that we are using so that we don't end up burning the oil and then face the repercussions of free fatty acids in the oil and on our health as well. So here's a list of all oils and their smoke points so that you can decide on which cooking method require which type of oil. So if you can see here, extra virgin olive oil has 320 to 350 Fahrenheit, which makes it ideal for medium heat cooking. Virgin olive oil is again 390 Fahrenheit, which is again from low to medium heat. Olive oil is 465. If any oil which is refined, their smoke point is relatively high, which makes it suitable for high heat cooking. Next important factor is the taste. Now, variety of oils have variety of taste. Different dishes requires different taste. For example, you cannot add mustard oil in baking because it has very pungent smell. Similarly, you cannot use olive oil for most of your Asian dishes, as Mediterranean dishes are more comfortable with olive oil and Asian dishes are more comfortable with sesame oil. Next important point is the health benefits. You have to consider oil which is having more of unsaturated, polysaturated and monosaturated fats. An oil that is having high saturated fats like coconut oil or palm oil are not considered good for your heart in long-term usage. You have to keep your intake of saturated fats less than 5%. So if you're using oil that is having too much of saturated fat, you will end up developing a lot of cholesterol and heart health issues. So oil like coconut oil, palm oil, butter and ghee have to be limited in intake up to 5% of your daily caloric requirement. Apart from chemical composition, one important factor that we need to address is the nutrition content of a particular oil. So every oil, based on how they are processed, be it refined, cold pressed, they retain certain values of antioxidants and omega-3 and omega-3 fatty acids. So if you are looking for a good nutrition profile, you will always have to consider going for a cold pressed oil, because cold pressed oil, the method that they use in order to get and extract the oil from the seed is mechanical, without any chemicals, which retains more of antioxidant. But at the very same time, it has low smoking point. So the cold pressed oils are more comfortable for low and medium heat cooking, as we discussed in the previous section. But at the very same time, they have a lot of antioxidants and nutritionally more prevalent as compared to refined oils. I'll take a quick break to make you understand what's the difference between cold pressed oil and a refined oil. So first basic difference is based on the extraction methods. Refined oils are extracted using high heat and chemical solvents to extract the oil from seeds or nuts. The oil is then refined, bleached, deodorized to remove the impurities and improve its shelf life. So what you see in market mostly is refined oil, which is much more cheaper and more widely available because their shelf life is higher. So companies sell refined oil much easily and at much lower price as compared to the cold press oil. Now cold press oils are extracted at lower temperatures, usually below 122 Fahrenheit, using mechanical pressing methods. This helps them retain more of natural flavor, aroma and nutrients of the oil. Talking about the difference based on the nutrition value, as we discussed, refined oil extracted with a chemical process, some of their natural oxidants, vitamins and minerals are lost. They stripe off while in the refining process. However, they have high smoke point, making it suitable for high heat cooking. Cold press oil, on the other hand, retain more of natural antioxidants, vitamins and minerals compared to the refined oil. But at the very same time, they have low smoke point, making it suitable for only low and medium heat cooking. Flavor and aroma. Talking about flavor and aroma, refined oil will mostly have very stable aroma that can be utilized in wide range of dishes. Cold press oils will retain its natural flavors and aroma. Like for olive oil, you'll get that essence of olives, which makes the dishes more flavorful and the aroma retained from that particular vegetable or seed. Cold press oils will retain more of its natural flavor and aroma, which can enhance the taste of dishes. Now, when we discuss the difference based on suitability for cooking, as I mentioned before, refined oils are suitable for high heat cooking because of their higher smoke points, but they don't retain any antioxidants. But if you are involved in cooking at high temperature, then refined oil is the best option to go for, any refined oil. When we talk about cold press oil, they have lower smoke points. They are suitable for salad dressings, sauteing. They do anything that serve the purpose for medium heat cooking. Now moving on to the next important factor we need to consider while using oil in your cooking methods. That is, avoid reusability of the oil or reusing your oil too much, because as you reuse your oil, the amount of free radicals on reheating it again and again increases, and as a result there would be high percentage of trans fat that is completely and needs to be avoided in your diet. Hence, reusing of your oil is a very important factor. So you have to always consider your pockets and the availability of oil in order to consider it an option for your daily cooking, because if it's too expensive, you are going to end up reusing it again and again, and that is not healthy. And if it is not available, again you're going to reuse it again and again. So it's better to go for a cheaper oil rather than using an oil that is very expensive and then reheating and reusing it, because that is doing more harm than good. Before we move on to the crash course to choosing the best right quality oil, we have to discuss about mustard oil, because it's quite popular in our Indian household and needs attention. It is having a good chemical composition. Mostly it has monosaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, saturated fats. Point of consideration here is that mustard oil has high amount of uric acid, that is omega-9 fatty acids, monosaturated omega-9 fatty acids, which has been associated with many health concerns as well. Many countries have banned the use of mustard oil just because of high amount of uric acid in them. However, the research suggests that the studies that have been done was on rats and is not applicable to humans. So you can keep on using your mustard oil, but you should know that it has high smoke point and is relatively useful for high heat cooking. Mustard oil also contains vitamin E, which is an antioxidant that helps you protect cells and damage. It may also contain small amount of other vitamins and minerals, but they are negligible. Mustard oil is having high aroma, high flavor, very pungent like flavor, so it cannot be used in baking or roasting many of your dishes. However, because of its particular aroma and flavor, they are being used in our Indian household for so many years. However, they have high smoke points, so you will have to consider it using at high heat cooking methods. But yes, it can be a part of your cooking. Now let's get into the crash course. 5 important tips in order to understand which cooking oil to choose for yourself. First and foremost important tip, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that is your overall fat intake matters more. So your 15 to 20% of your calories should come from fat, and out of which less than 5% should come from saturated fats. So you have to understand that your palm oil, coconut oil, ghee, butter all should be limited to less than 5% of your daily caloric requirement. Second important point is that for low heat cooking, you can use your cold press oils like olive oil or any other oil which is cold pressed. Third, for high heat cooking, go for refined oil, and be it any refined oils, they all have high smoking points. You can go and use it for high heat cooking, that is deep frying or broiling or using where you heat oil for a longer period of time. Next important point is to keep changing your oil once after every 15 to 20 days. It is very important so that you can get variety of vitamins and minerals that come from the oil. You can get the variety of flavor, and at the very same time it will help you manage your cholesterol levels as well. Last and the very important point, stop reusing and reheating your oil. Instead, look for cheaper alternatives and oil that is readily available, because reheating your oil is not a good option. It will increase the amount of trans fat that is not good for your heart health and your cholesterol levels. So yes, if you keep these 5 points in your mind, basics being limit the use of ghee, butter, palm oil, coconut oil to 5% of your daily caloric requirement. For low heat cooking, use olive oil. For high heat cooking, use any refined oil. Do not reuse your oil or reheat your oil, and keep changing your oil in just 15 to 20 days every month. Then you will end up taking good care of your heart health and your cholesterol levels. So yes, that's it for today's video. I hope you will find it useful. It was a complete guide on how to choose the right cooking oil for yourself. I hope you get some insight and will be able to share it with others as well. I'll see you in my next video. Stay fit, stay